What we're going to do, Rob and myself are going to take a limited amount of anglers. Now, I don't want to bring attention to an area by bringing 15 people there. Now it looks like a bass tournament, and I don't want unnecessary attention. What we thought we would start with is 6 anglers. Rob and myself would make up the other 2, so we would have a total of 8. And we would go from pond to pond within the villages. Hopefully we will hit every pond in the village. Some ponds we may not be able to take 8 people. There is some limited space on a few ponds, and we'll put all that information together. What we're going to do is we'll have a sign-up sheet.
Some boats now available on Harris. They have 3 boats and a deck boat, 3 pontoons and a deck boat. Plus your boat would make 4 boats. So we should be able to put together a trip on Harris in the near future. At this point, the last couple of years, we've had 3 places to go. Pana Vista, on Lake Panisofsky, Castaways up on St. John's and Lake George, and up the Lake Lakuchi River in Dunellen at Anglers Resort. That's the only place that had boats for us. Now, if we could get more guys in the club who would say, hey, I'll go on a certain day, where we could take more people we've got a lot of guys that do have boats, and if we could get them all together, we could put a nice trip to wherever we want to go. But that's something we'll be working on. This week, or next week from Thursday, we are going to final deadline, because I have to put the carpools together and boat assignments. So see me in the back if you want to go fishing. We went out yesterday. We didn't catch a lot of fish. Boy, was it a beautiful day on the lake. It was absolutely perfect. It was warm, but gosh, it was a nice breeze blowing, and it was absolutely beautiful.
I spilled the coffee with the fish that I swung up in the boat. Don Millick, 2 months ago, we were fishing the Salapopka chain in Inverness. My last name is Henderson. We were fishing Lake Henderson. I will be the first one to tell you that lake sucks. If you go to our website and you'll see a picture of Don that yours truly netted his bass that weighed 10.22 pounds. That was his largest bass in your lifetime?
Yes, sir.
And he's only 49. So. At any rate, that was a very proud moment. The picture's on the website. It was submitted to Trophy Catch. If you're not familiar with Trophy Catch, I highly suggest that you sign up for it. I do have some information on the largest bass right now in the state, and it was caught March of 2016, 14 pounds, 10 ounces, by Paul Drozier, Jasmine Lake. Kingsley was usually a big hit in December and January. A lot of sight fishing. It probably has more trophy bass taken out of it than any other lake in the state of Florida. And that's all I'm going to talk about for now. John Peyton is our guide that has been with us for several years. John is a crappie guide. He's been doing this since forever, since 1978. That sound about right?
Yeah.
And John also fishes the crappie tournament. For those of you that don't know, specs are also a favorite terminology for these fish down here in the state. Anyway, could we please have a warm welcome for Mr. John Peyton?
Good evening, ladies and gents. I don't really recognize but a few of you, so you haven't called. But maybe you will. I've been crappie fishing from I was based in Kentucky for several years, and I fished the national circuit, both of them. I've been to 36 national championships. Never won one. I've been 5th twice, 8th, 17th, 13th. It just got cost prohibitive to do all that traveling. It's a lot of money. So I ended up here in Florida, and we got a crappie club. We got about 70 members, active members. And some of them even come from Georgia. 5 teams travel from Georgia to fish our club, and that's how good a club we got. Some of the best fishermen in the nation are in our club. They go to the Classic. Two teams are going later this month, are going to the Classic. I love beating them. We had a tournament Saturday on Lake Monroe on the St. Johns River. And we went over Friday, me and my partner, and we checked 5 or 6 places. Then we caught some decent fish, pound 5, and we decided that's where we was going to fish all day Saturday. And first fish we caught weighed 1.5 pounds. That won the big fish pot. We come in second, but we had a lot of teams that declined to come because we fished till 2:30, and it's just so hot. They just won't come. So next year we're going to cut our summer tournaments to 1 o'clock. You know, we had people almost pass out Saturday because it was just calm. There was no wind whatsoever. But we caught approximately 50 fish from 12 ounces to 1.5 pounds. And that's very good for this time of year. I mean, they're starting to turn on. That rain we had late, 2 weeks ago dropped the water temperature about 8 degrees, and these fish, now Saturday, there's no telling how many we could have caught. I mean, they weren't biting that hard or that many, but you spend 8.5 hours catching them pretty regular, so you got quite a few fish. But on a half a day, which is what I recommend, I fish at least 5 hours. If the fish is not, a little bit slow, I'll fish a little while longer. I clean the fish at the end of the day. The last thing an older person, in my opinion, wants to do is take a bunch of fish home, clean them. So I'm the only crappie guide in our club, and there might be some around that I don't know about that clean fish. So most of them say, no, I'm not cleaning fish. But I'll clean the fish and send them home with you bone free. And it's looking up. I believe it's going to be a great year over for what started on the St. Johns. Now, there's some places on the St. Johns like Lake Woodruff. Fishing, I'll do the best I can to catch fish. There's a lot I've actually moved to Lakeland, Florida. And there's so many lakes, it's hard to believe. So I've been living down there about 8 weeks, and I've been to a different lake every time. I don't go to the same one. And there's some fantastic crappie lakes, and there's some that I'm not going back to. But it wasn't fair to the fish because summertime, some of the beautiful lakes there in Winter Garden, they're just clear. And just get away from them. It's like he's talking about bass fishing over at Henderson. You can see a dime in 30 feet of water. And clear lakes, hard to catch fish. But most of the water around here, I used to live on Lake Harris. And about 6 years ago, they sprayed it for weeds. And we had 2 years in a row in September, we had a crappie tournament. Our club did on Harris. There was not one crappie caught. Not one on Harris. There was some caught in Little Lake Harris, but we dropped it from the list. But it's made a comeback. And Lake Griffin, right here, city limits, I used to fish it. It was 5 years ago, it was fabulous. But this is what I understand, it's gone way downhill, crappie fishing. And the bass I saw caught on the Griffin, I saw one man catch 6 or 7 out of one spot. He would weigh them and put them in his live well. I said, well, what are you doing with them? He said, I'm taking them home, putting them in my pond. He's going to have a pond full of big ones. I'll tell you what he's going to have. But the season is, last year, I come here in March, and the season was basically over. Small jigs. Last year I brought some with me. I was in such a hurry today I didn't. You can get them right here at Brooker's Bait and Tackle. Ron's Zip Jig. It's a little mylar jig. It's less than 1/16 ounce, and I tip them with a small minnow. And then, believe it or not, we use ice jigs, slow troll ice jigs, and they love them. Main colors are pink, chartreuse, yellow, and red. Any other questions?
How big is the boat?
It's an 18-foot bass boat. It's a little crowded getting to the fishing hole,
Start catching fish.
but once you get set, you got your pole.
Catch fish on Woodruff if you aren't spider rigging, just go out, a couple people, a couple of 4 bulls.
The man that won the state championship last year, the creek that goes into Woodruff there, that's where he won the state championship in the pads, fishing minnow rigs in the pads, you know. You can put 3 or 4 poles out. Do you have any idea of what long lining would be? You take a trolling motor. If you've got a GPS, you run about 1 mile an hour, and you put jigs out behind the boat, and you don't have to have minnows. Howell flies work great. One single 16th ounce, 25 foot behind the boat most days, and just if you got rod holders, it's good because it holds your rod. You're gonna get tired of holding it, but you can hold 2 in your hands. But I would suggest rod holders if you're gonna do it. But my favorite method is spider rigging. Any other questions? 40 the next day. Went to a different part of the lake and fished totally different, and there they were. It's just, once you learn, you've got it. But every time I think I know what the crappie's gonna do, they show me I don't know. Saturday, we fished, the first fish weighed 1.5 pounds, and that was the biggest fish of the day. They'll get a lot bigger. They're going to start feeding heavy. They're already starting to get small sacks of eggs in them. And the first spawn will be the full moon in November. A few of them will spawn. That's the reason you see so many different sizes and specs as you go. I caught one on one of them little lakes down there in Lakeland the other day. It was 1.25 inches long. Had a zip jig in his mouth with a minnow. He was this long. I wished him luck and throwed him back. Anybody else?
I'm sitting in a railway station, got a ticket for my destination. And on a tour of one-night stands, my suitcase and guitar in hand. And every stop it's neatly planned for a poet and a one-man band.